Hello. Okay, so this video is going to be a little different than the sketch and mentally stretch. I'm going to do like pick a card, but like pick a sketch. And we're going to live channel the sketch and any messages. So before we do that, let's get the card ready. Okay. So this is pile 1. We'll do 3. Maybe. Maybe we'll do 2, actually. Okay. So pile 1 and pile 2. I don't want to show what the cards say for my own personal experimentation, but just whichever one is calling to you more. I know they look the same, but just pick one and then I'll put the timestamps below. And yeah. Take your time. Maybe, you can close your eyes. Maybe you could do any, mini, miny, mo, like whatever. Just trust yourself. And we're going to get started with pile 1, and I'm going to put pile 2 up here. So let's get started with pile 1, sketch 1. I'm also not going to reveal the card until I kind of get done with the sketch. I kind of want to just channel. So, pile 1. Okay. All right, so I feel like this pile is trying to make a decision about something. And if it's not a decision, maybe it's just like a balancing of two things or two polarities. This is new for me, you guys. I've never done this. So, just going with what I feel. It's almost like integration. There's also like this sense of peace and playfulness that I have with it. Because I have no idea where this is going. And I kind of want you guys to be able to hear me sketch, but I don't know. Like a big part of it is the sound. I'll put it right there. Okay. And this isn't supposed to look like anything for real. Like if you see something, that's great. It's not really, I'm not drawing to create something that really exists, if that makes sense. I'm just kind of drawing patterns and shapes. But it feels like something is developing almost. And I'm feeling like this sense of like needing to control how it's developing. I.e. me getting all caught up with like where the mic is and if you guys can hear it. But take it how it resonates, because some of you guys could be making a decision between one option and another. Some of you guys can be integrating two polarities, like your yin and your yang, your masculine and your feminine, fragmentation and integration. I just did a Substack about that. I just did a Substack post where it was like pick a sketch. And I've done like channeled sketches before, but I've never done it like this, where I have a card and I'm trying to like channel a certain particular group of people's energy live in front of y'all. I think that's what makes it different. It's also like processing like the old way of doing things and like taking what was useful from the old way of doing things and leaving what wasn't. And like this desire to not be boxed into a certain particular way of viewing a particular matter. I also feel like for some of you guys, it's a lot of like maturing that's happening. Like maybe you're reviewing. Here I go with the mic again. Maybe you're reviewing old ways of how you used to react to certain situations, or old stories that you used to tell yourself about why you are the way you are, or why things are the way they are. But you're sort of growing out of that. For some of you guys that picked this, it's like you guys are just replaying and retracing your steps, almost as if you lost something. Like, where is the last place I had this? And then in your journey amongst looking for that lost thing, you find something else that you weren't even looking for. And that ends up being the new focus. Even though initially you're looking for this one particular thing to get out of some situation, or maybe literally like a lost item. And then you end up finding something else completely different. I'm also thinking of like a change of mind, but not feeling like where your mind was before was useless or like wasn't true. Everything was true in the moment. But you're kind of wanting to explore a different route. So the word that's coming to me for this pile is alternative, like alternative routes. Alternative approaches. I really want to see what that card says. Very curious. It's like this pile is wanting and desiring space to look at the full picture, so they can really get a sense of balance. Like I normally don't do like straight lines like that when I sketch, so I really feel like that was channeled. And that's what made me think of polarity and the yin and yang and option 1 or option 2, or this all like taking an alternative route, looking in the foreground, the background, instead of like what's right in front of you. My back also, like, I very much straightened up my posture when I started this sketch. I heard like fly away. Like some of you guys just want to fly away. Oh, I relate to that. I just want to fly away. I just want, like, you kind of want like a bird's eye view of everything. I feel like you're too too close for comfort to something right now, or someone, or particular situation that you've been slightly ruminating on. After I get done with the sketch, I'll turn over the card. It's almost as if you are attempting to get this perspective that is free from your jadedness or biases that you may have. Oops. Sorry. I'm going to turn over the card, but I'm going to add color. Life between lives. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just yelled at you. Life between lives. Each life is a lesson for the soul. Honor your past and future lives. Interesting. So maybe this or that, or the yin and yang, or like this kind of polar thing is like maybe a representation for the past versus the where you're going, the future. Each life is a lesson for the soul. Honor your past lives. I also feel like this pile maybe could feel like they've lived many lives within their lives. Like they've already, like within this present life, you've already undergone so many different transformations. And you're kind of like, I feel like sometimes you get exhausted by this experience of life, but it's like, for some of you guys in this pile resonate with the philosophy that like a part of you chose to incarnate or exist, or like the source that is you, that is life force energy, is connected to everything and everyone, including you. So even though at sometimes you feel separate and like I'm kind of exhausted by the physical experience, you welcome that part of the experience as well, and you honor your emotions. I feel like this pile really honors how they feel, and they don't try to change it. I kind of want to look at the life between lives, deeper description. These cards are thick. But yeah, I feel like you're taking inventory of the many different versions of yourself, and you're wanting to honor them for everything they went through. And you don't want to squander. Like, I don't think you're the type of person, whoever picked this pile, that has a lot of regrets. Here it goes. But you also want to be real with yourself and take accountability for situations where, yeah, you maybe would have wanted to act different or show up differently. Okay, life between lives. If the life between lives card has come into your reading, your higher self is nudging you towards a broader perspective. And what I was talking about, a broader perspective, like you guys want a bird's eye view, you guys kind of want to zoom out. It's nudging you towards a broader perspective. The experiences, the people, the lessons of this life are but a chapter in your soul's grand narrative. Embrace your current journey, but remain open to the wisdom and memories from past and future lives. They hold keys to understanding your present. The experiences between these lives in the spirit world significantly shape our current existence. As we navigate through our human experiences, understanding these journeys and their inherent lessons provides a profound depth to our spiritual understanding. Each life, each lesson, each soul interaction each life, each lesson, each soul interaction between these lives adds layers of wisdom, compassion, and purpose to your existence. So there you have it. I'm not going to add too much else other than trust yourself. You don't only inherit trauma through epigenetics, but you also inherit wisdom and power. And yeah, I think we talk a lot about generational curses and generational trauma, but we don't spend a lot of time talking about the generational wealth and the generational wisdom. And think about how many people had to get together, have sex, stay alive, get pregnant, stay alive for 9 months, hold that person, that being in their belly, and then that baby was born and that baby grew up and then did the same thing. And all these different people that had to stay alive, find love, or even if it wasn't love, but like merge their bodies together, make a baby, hold the baby for 9 months without it dying. Think about how many times that had to happen successfully in your family tree to land all the way up to where you are now. And I think that this particular group of people, you're kind of at a crossroads. And I think there is maybe a decision-making process. But honor the buffer period, because the word between, like, jumped out to me with life between lives, like this between period, before you transition from your old life to a new chapter. And this can happen on a macro level, like past lives and reincarnation, but it can also happen in a micro level in your individual life, where you have died and been born again to yourself many, many times. So trust yourself with that process, and trust the multitudes of information that you and through your bloodline have gained, and give yourself a little grace, because you're not only holding your life's information, but you're literally a living flash drive of all the lives that came before you that brought you here into the physical 3D dimension. So that's pile 1. Okay. Wow, that was so interesting. So let's transition. I'm going to name this Life Between Lives. Life Between Lives. What's today? I think it's the 16th. It's either the 16th or the 15th, but 2026. Reading. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't like to waste paper, so we gonna go over the top of this one. All right. So, pile 2. Hello. So like I told the other pile, we're not going to reveal that card until I get into the sketch, until we finish the sketch. Sorry if you can kind of tell that I'm like on the back side of a drawing, but I really just want to use every piece of paper as efficiently and sustainably as I can. So let's get into it. This is so fun, because what is this energy? I'm giggling. What does this mean? I feel like immediately I want to get some darker color. Wow, so interesting. I didn't even want to bring the markers out for the last pile. And if you happen to be watching both, don't get jealous. I'm just going with the energy. Like, we didn't get markers. Well, sorry. Immediately I'm hearing mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Wishful thinking? What? I'm hearing a lot of different things. For the people that picked this pile, you could possibly try and you could be in the process of trying to or attempting to build a team of people or seek out community or support. And or some of you are attempting to nurture different, I heard sides of yourself, but also like sides of your life. So for some of you guys, you could be a parent or you could be in a parental caregiver position. But you also have your own individual things that you want to work on. But then you also want to be in community. It's like, it's similar in a way because the last group had this theme of like integration, of like bringing things together. And I feel like that's here too, but it's in a different way. It's almost like, for some of you guys, there's a concrete vision that you are trying to bring into existence. And you know, in order for that vision to come into fruition, you're going to need people. You're going to need support. It's not a solo endeavor that you are involved in right now. For some of you guys, it's family. For some of you guys, it's like chosen family, community. And for some of you guys, it could be like the attempt to bring 3 different passions of yours into alignment. For some of you guys, y'all could be desiring like a chiropractic adjustment, because I keep hearing the word alignment as well. Like you want to get things on the same accord. You're okay with them being different things, and you're okay with honoring these different dimensions of yourself are different. Okay. Okay, so it stopped recording, y'all, but I think it all plays into your message. So it stopped recording literally, as you can see, the sketch is way more developed than it was a second ago. And I turned the card back over just because I didn't want y'all to see it yet, but I already saw it because I got to the part of the reading where I turned the card over. I think the last thing I was saying was you're in a realm of trying to align a lot of different dimensions of yourself, of your life. And if you chose this pile, you're probably someone that really values the journey and not just the destination. And this is why I think the video cut off, because I did get very wordy trying to explain and put into words this energy. But I think your guys' word, the word that I gave for this pile there was a few different words, intermission, buffering, and interlude. So you're like in an in-between stage where in your life you're not really at a concrete decision, or maybe you have that desire to bring something into like concreteness, but at this current point you're in this period of development. And your card is Silence Speaks. So I think that was Spirit's way of being like, girl, you talking too much and you putting too much words to their reading. I want their reading to be pretty short and sweet. And I can respect that. Even though I was very bummed because I have my eye on the camera at all times. So if it stops recording, I know, and I can like stop versus like I just keep yapping and it was recording the whole time. And then when I hit save, it only saved the first like 25 minutes. But that's your guys' message. Is sometimes words cheapen things and they confine them. And you're in this period where you are like in evolution. And I also want you guys to see the card that is at the bottom of the deck, Flow of Life. And these are both bodies of water. So you guys may be in a very sensitive emotional state right now, and talking and trying to intellectualize and put to words feels very uncomfortable and very stifling. And one thing I want to point out is that in this picture there's no flowers, but there's a river and water, and this figure is in a boat. But in this one, the figure is directly in the water. So take what you want from that. This figure is directly in the water, and there's things that are growing. So to end your message, basically, you can't mess this up. Even when you try to hold on to control and want to articulate things, even that doesn't mess it up. But if you are desiring more alignment and less messiness, sometimes not speaking and not trying to intellectualize it and not trying to label it and just get into a very objective point of view can help you. And seeing it from like a bird's eye view, that's also something I was channeling before I flipped the card over when I was drawing. It's like you have this desire to get into this fifth dimensional space with what you're going through at the moment and not see it in such a 3D concrete way. I'm going to read the Silence Speaks description. In the cacophony of life, amidst the endless barrage of sounds, distractions, and chaos, lies the profound power of silence. Silence isn't merely the absence of noise, but the presence of deeper truths, insights that speak directly to our souls. Your higher self, through the Silence Speaks card, is nudging you to actively seek moments of quietude. In the silent corridors of your mind, away from external distractions, lie profound truths and insights waiting to be discovered. It's an urging to disconnect from external chaos and tune into eternal peace. Dive deep into the silence. Let it envelop you. Let it speak to you. You'll be surprised at the wealth of knowledge and clarity it brings. Throughout various spiritual traditions, silence is revered as a gateway to deeper understanding and enlightenment. It's in the quietude, in the moments of introspection, that we often find answers to our most pressing questions. By actively seeking silence, by immersing ourselves in its embrace, we give ourselves the chance to connect with the universe, to hear the whispers of our souls, and to bask in the boundless wisdom that often gets overshadowed in the daily hustle and bustle. So one thing I want to leave with you guys, I feel like if you picked this group is probably really good at communicating with words. And sometimes maybe it helps you to talk things out, even if it's just to yourself. But I offer you silence. I offer you taking an alternative route to processing what you are currently trying to align and develop and grow in your life. Because you're in a very sensitive in-between period right now where things aren't concrete. There is no, nothing really exists but the present. And what you are currently growing through and evolving into it's a very sensitive quantum place that you're in right now. And maybe just feeling into it instead of talking through it will be very helpful. And I love this because I'm in school for dance movement therapy, and even though it involves an element of talk therapy, me as a future DMT, dance movement therapist, I'm not prioritizing the words. What's prioritized is the sensations. And like the card was saying, there is a immense amount of wisdom that can be found in silence. The silence speaks. Even though you're not hearing anything in the third dimension, you are feeling things. You are uncovering things. You might see things when you sit in silence that you wouldn't have saw before. And just like that, I feel like there's nothing left to say. Thank you for your patience with that little glitch, and comment below which pile you chose, and maybe if you don't want to reveal what pile, just like if it resonated, if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope you have a beautiful, powerful, peaceful rest of your day or night. Okay, goodbye.